Union Town, all down the line. Oh.
Tell the doctor, man.
One, two, one, two, one, two.
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
Nice. You are now in tune with the boss of the business, the What the Heck Show on UnionPowerRadio.com.
One, two, one, two.
Bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.
That's right. You're listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. I want to start this show off with a song that I had on cue, ready to play.
Somebody call the doctor, man.
We're going to call the doctor here.
Sickness, man. They need to.
Don't hide, I see you, hater. I'm away high when I greet you, hater. I've been dying to meet you, hater. Please don't leave me, I need you, hater. This is playing, I'm gonna fail. They hating, rather see me back in the cell.
I hate it. I hate it.
Good, Brooklyn, we get it. I'm keeping it all. Keep hating, I'm rolling, I'm going past you. Chicks like, oh, I like him. You see it's dead too. Look at me with the snack DVDs, the MTV, pants hanging down on BET. Still in the streets, nigga, you see me.
I haters.
It's nothing, be major.
I haters.
I haters, you me. I haters.
That's right. It's Hi Haters. That's right. I dedicated that song to all those haters out there. And there are haters out there in the Teamster world, but it's all good. It's all good. Like I always say to you guys, if you want to listen to the What the Heck show, you can tune in and listen for free. It's no charge to you. If you don't want to listen, you can tune the fuck out and don't listen because I'm going to get all the critics saying here, 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 and hate, hate, hate. But you know what? People are talking about what I spoke about last week and about the TDU thing. I'm not going to talk much about it today. I'm just going to let you know if you want the truth, I give it to you. I give it to you straight up how it is. Okay. I've been with TDU for 9 years. Okay. 9 fucking years of waste of my fucking time with them. And now I say they are lapdogs. I don't say it. A lot of people say they lapdogs. And it's what it is. It is what it is. The truth is there. It is you I saw it. I'm a true believer. Like if you can prove to me that you are fighting for the members and the Teamsters, I'm with you 100%. But and then when you are fighting for the Teamsters 100%, then you back the fuck down, then you're a fucking lapdog. And as simple as that. John Palmer said it exactly how it was. I saw it, what he said. I didn't think I was gonna see what he said, but then I did see what he said. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk much about TDU because it's not really worth my time and worth one hater out there that says, "Oh, you bashing TDU." No, I'm not bashing TDU. Listen, if you want to go and learn some stuff from Teamsters, you can go to your local and learn from Teamsters, or you can go into if you want to go to TDU. I really don't care. I'm done with it. It don't necessarily means that you have to be done with it. It's my opinion. That's what I go with, and that's what I do. Okay. And for the hater out there that was always saying, "Oh, you like this, you like this, you like that, you like this." Listen, I like everything. It's up to you to keep me to like it. Because if you do something that crosses me, then I dislike it again. I dislike it all over, and I'm just not gonna go with it. So this new election coming up for the IBT, I campaigned my ass off. I campaigned my ass off for Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman. Am I going to do it this time? Maybe not. But it is what it is. We have people that are going to run, and what I hear, and I told you guys, I'm going to get names as we go every week. Rich Hooker from 623 announced that he is running. I don't know for what position, but he is running for the IBT. I think it's a waste of his time. I'm being straight up. I don't think he has the experience enough to be in the IBT. I don't think he has the heart enough to be in the IBT. I think he's good where he's at right now as his principal officer at 623. I think he's doing a great job there. He's take care of the 623 guys. You need to stay there. You need to focus on 623. You can't focus on IBT because you don't have it. You get maybe 2 or 3 votes from West Coast saying, "Hey, we'll vote for you, Richie." That's it. That's all you're gonna get. It's not worth it, and it's not cool. Who's this? Okay. So I don't know why I let Jamie in my podcast because he's really Debbie the Downer. So anyway, Jamie's in, and Jose from.
Are you Debbie the Downer?
No. You turn off your mic. Yeah, mute your mic. There you go. You already started with the mic on. But anyway, we have Jose from the West Coast. I'm sure he's popping on because he's got something to say, and we're going to be to agree to disagree, and it's always been like that. This is how the Teamsters do. We agree to disagree. It's nothing, no hate, no nothing. It's just this the way it is. I have my opinion. Jose has his opinion, and Jamie, of course, has his opinion. And Jamie's opinion is hard questions. Really? Anyway, what's up, Jose? What's going on, man?
Buenas tardes, Hector. Hopefully, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, all right. Sometimes I have difficulties with my laptop and my earphones. All right, here in Southern California, enjoying the gloomy weather out here, and yeah, I do want to discuss IBT election because I mean, Sean O'Brien cannot be unopposed. He needs to be ran against, and I think Richard Hooker does have the heart. And if you just look at, yes, it's a uphill climb to be Sean O'Brien. He's out there at the barns. He has this former organization. He used to call himself the Watchdog, on his side, and he has a powerful ally
Ho-
in the president of the United States. Oh, can you hear me?
So yeah, Jose. So I want to ask you this question: is that you feel like I always preach that if you are running for a shop steward and the shop steward needs to be taken out because you need to run against him, but if the shop steward is doing a good job, why run against the shop steward? So now I'm asking you the question: why you think that Sean O'Brien needs to be run against?
Okay, let's start off with which barn that we come out of. We come out of UPS. What are we seeing right now? UPS sorts being closed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Automation being rampant. You
Mm-hmm.
have you have feeder drivers, and now those loads could go on the rail. Where the UPS contract was sold as historic. It's historic, but in other ways. Our membership, especially in the part-time ranks, that's where the most of the cuttings going to come from, is going to decrease. You look at that contract. Now it's easy to bash the 2008, 2013, I mean 2008, 2013, 2018 contract. It's easy to bash. Everybody bashes them. All the 22 fours, and yes, that was a reason to vote that contract down. But you're seeing this contract be more detrimental to our union than those contracts. Out here in the West, we got 50-cent pension. You know, I wonder how much of that 50 cents is going into health and welfare. We used to get $1. Now we got 50 cents. Where did that 50 cents go? You have some principal officers saying, oh, it went to the part-timers. No, it went to help out the New England trust fund out there. You look at that UPS contract, it is a concessionary contract, a sellout contract, and a gift to UPS, a gift to Carol Tomei. We all that tough talk during the summer of 2022, leading up to 2023 summer, was that we're going to put UPS on their knees, practice picket. What did the practice picket actually do? Did it really scare UPS? Did we really withhold our labor? All those practice pickets were either before the sort or before drivers went out or after.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
that's the practice picketing was a success. If I see it, you might not see it that way, but Hoffa wouldn't do something like that and didn't scare the company, and plus he was laying down with the company. He was getting whatever contract, and he was ratifying contracts straight up because if three supplements were down, he just throws it in their face. And 623 was one of those one of those locals that got the contract stuck right down their throat. It was 623. And I know Hooker is not going to allow that to happen this time, I guess. But the thing is, I don't know what Sean O'Brien has done that he said that he was going to do. He's been doing exactly what he's said he's been doing. He goes around all the barns, all the thing. I mean, you can't blame him for what's happening to UPS. I mean, to the company. You can't blame him for the volume not coming in and the cuts. I mean, if you were running that company, you would do cuts also. I mean, it's the shit is the shit. He can't make them not lay off people. He can't make them not close buildings down. We can't. It's in the contract, it's in the international and in the supplement that we cannot tell them how to run their operation. They have to run their operation of what they feel. If they have to close down some buildings, they have to close down some buildings for their rights. They have the right to do that. We don't have rights as Teamsters to tell them, hey, you got to keep those buildings open and keep my employees, keep the Teamsters working. Listen, I don't like it at all. I don't like it. I never thought I would see the company closing any buildings down, because I thought this company, it was always going to be a year-round good job, and it's the volume is going to be there. But we lost a lot of volume. Well, we didn't. They did. They lost a lot of volume. So now they got to make all these cuts. They cut in management. They cut in buildings. They're cutting the Teamsters. They're cutting. They're cutting. But what is Sean O'Brien supposed to do about that?
Can with respects to the volume, I wonder if you talked to any feeder drivers or stewards and asked them how many times has UPS told a customer, "Hey, we're only picking up a certain amount of volume." You know, didn't UPS say, "Oh, you know what? We're not taking more volume from Amazon no more." You know, and that UPS contract is a detrimental, has a negative detriment to our union. You know what I mean? And then we could talk about other things that we could talk about other things that Sean O'Brien
Yeah, but
has
in what
done.
sense is detrimental to this contract? In what sense? I mean,
Is there protection? Is there protection
did
against
Sean O'Brien
automation?
do?
Is there protection against AI? There's no protection against.
There's,
He
there's no
came to
protection against
Sacramento.
AI anywhere. Not the Teamsters. What do you want the Teamsters to do? What do you want Sean O'Brien to do about AI? AI is coming. AI has been coming for years. AI is here. I'm saying you can't. No company, your Teamsters, UPS, no company could do anything about AI. AI is here, and AI is going to take over a lot of jobs, and we can't. As Teamsters, I mean, Sean O'Brien is not a Superman. I mean, he works out, but he ain't Superman. And I don't know what can you guys expect from Sean O'Brien to do to stop AI, because AI is here and it's way out of Sean O'Brien's control. It's way out of Trump control. It's a company that is creating AI, and let me tell you something. A lot of people loving it. I love it. I love AI. I love the fact that I can fucking tell them a story about what I need to write in the email, and it punts it out for me with summary and everything. I mean, but that's the way of, this is the future. This is what's going on. What do you want him to do for AI? What would you like him to do for AI that he can't do?
Well, AI can't be replacing our jobs. Ask what happened to the customer counters positions. All those counter positions throughout this country almost has been eliminated.
But it's not
You
for
know,
AI. It's not
it's been
because of
eliminated.
AI. It's because of the volume, and the company made moves. They if you had a company and you had to make cuts to survive, you made cuts to survive. You would cut. If you had 3 warehouses and you only could operate with 2 because the one is costing you a lot of money, you're gonna get rid of that one warehouse and keep that 2 and run that business that way. That's the way the business is running. But I just don't understand, how is Sean O'Brien responsible for that? I don't
Because
see
he led the negotiations.
the
If you
negotiation.
said AI was coming, it was years already. It was coming. Then why, when you're in negotiations, why don't you plan it out? Why don't you discuss it? Why don't you put safeguards around it?
Because the major company, big companies that has hundreds and thousands of employees, don't know what to do with AI, because it's not even a law yet. They don't even have it in Congress saying this is what AI is allowed to do. This is what AI is not supposed to do. These are the laws for AI. They don't have any of that into place. Nothing. You go to the government and say, what are the laws? What is AI allowed to do? And I guarantee you, they don't have an answer. No one has an answer yet, because AI is coming little by little, and it's taking up a storm. And a lot of people are grabbing into it. A lot of companies are grabbing into it because they see what they could do. That AI could do a lot of things that you can do within an hour. You could do it in 15 minutes. But that's AI. We don't have anything. The government don't have anything to say about AI, because they don't have any control or any laws about it or anything. So how you want Sean to do this with AI? What do you expect from Sean when the government don't even know how to handle it?
Once again, he was part of the negotiations. He was the lead negotiator. And if you said AI was coming years in ahead, years prior, it was coming, then negotiate it. You know, negotiate some sort of protections when it comes to AI. You know, same thing with automations. Should have been some protections around automation. You know,
Well, I can
all these,
understand
all
the
these, all these,
automation
all
part.
these.
I could understand. I could understand the automation part, but the AI part, I don't. I don't get what you're saying. That what he was supposed to do to put in the contract to make it a protection of AI. If the government
Well,
don't
it's to
even have,
negotiate it. It's to negotiate and
but
see what UPS
the
see what. No, no, no.
government.
We're not talking about the government. We're talking about
Yeah,
UPS
but I'm saying
and
the
us.
government has the first taste and first to put the laws on AI. You understand what I'm saying? They're the one who's going to say, hey, this is the way it's got to be run. This is the way it can't be done. This is the way it's got to be done. The government don't even have that. And you want Sean O'Brien to come in and say, hey, if you get an AI in your company, guess what? You know, we got to do this. How he's supposed to protect that with AI?
Okay, in the contract, there's I forgot what article it is. Maybe 26, but I'm not sure. I wish I had the contract
Technology.
book with me. No, 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 not technology.
Mm-hmm.
There's emergency reopener in that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Now it used to be for natural disasters. Then for contract we added, a pandemic because of what we went through in 2020. You could put that in that. You could put specific language in that emergency reopener. You know, to have negotiations mid contract once you see something like this happening. Especially, okay, we talked about AI, especially when it comes to automation. We could just we could renegotiate that and start putting safeguards. Okay, you know what? If automation is going to and AI, if it's going to have a negative effect on our workforce, on our comrades, our rank and file, our brothers and sisters, then we negotiate it and then we put some sort of barriers on it so it
I mean,
doesn't go out of hand like what Carol Tomei said. I think was it last year when she said in 2026 when automate 200 buildings, we're going to automate 200 more by 2028.
and, and
That's what we needed to do.
okay, so moving to the future now. I mean, we knew this was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. Halfa knew it was coming back then. Halfa knew that Amazon was going to be one of the biggest companies out there, and he didn't do anything to try to organize the Amazon people. That was back then. Now Sean O'Brien is trying to organize Amazon, and I'm telling you, trying because I'm thinking head, he's falling right to a brick wall because Amazon is not budging. They have enough money to go put you guys on they could fuck around with them for years because they got billions and billions of dollars. It's too late in the game to try to um, organize Amazon. It's really too late in the game. I mean, it's you hear and see, but I don't see anything moving. I see a lot of people rah 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 for Amazon, and then it just dies for a little bit, and then it comes right back, and you can't do it. That you got to keep the fight. We don't have the money. The Teamsters don't have the money for that. I'm sorry.
Yes, in the beginning you said we were going to agree to disagree, and yes, we some things we agree to disagree, but when it comes to this specific issue, the Amazon organizing campaign, we see eye to eye. I don't the focus on just the DSPs, the delivery service partners, the drivers, is a tougher call. Why we don't go into the warehouses, I do not know. I don't know why we're leaving the warehouses behind, where it's a more natural fit and we don't have to deal with the subcontractors, label like we do with the DSPs. And to have one person be in charge of a campaign like that needs to in my perspective, it should be more broken down regional.
I'm sorry,
You
but
know,
Sean has the wrong person to do that campaign. I'm sorry. He has he's wasting a lot of money. I could tell you that right now. He's wasting a lot of money, and it's nothing being. He's saying that he organized. Uh, that's your phone. He organized 40 whatever for 400 more thousand members. I don't know where, but not Amazon. It's not Amazon. Is Amazon is they got money. They're gonna drag this shit to the end until they don't get no unions in there, and they paying a lot of money to these
yeah.
busters. They paying big top dollar. I met a union buster and I wanted to punch him in his fucking face, but the I I heard that he makes over $150,000 just to go in there and speak for an hour.
And that's pennies. That's pennies for Amazon. That's like, yeah, we'll
Exactly,
drop that. We'll drop that in a second.
and they have those union buster guys all over every fucking building that you will go to apply for Amazon. You're gonna get those union busters there, and that's what the money's at. He has the money to do it. We don't have the money to do it. We don't have. I mean, the strike fund here is what, like, $2.3 million. I hope he's not using the strike fund money to organize Amazon, but I don't know. I don't know what's the finance.
I don't know. I don't. When they had that Amazon holiday uh strike in, during the Christmas season, I guess from my understanding, there was some of our international strike fund to help those brothers and sisters that went out on strike for that time. But I mean, it's just Amazon has so many warehouses out here in Southern California. If you go into the what they call the Inland Empire, there's literally 3 Amazons almost across the street from two of them across the street from each other, and the other one on the other side of the corner. It's just, I think New York has that too, that JFK 8, and there's another one right across the way. They just have facilities upon facilities upon facilities.
I,
And yes, we do not have the money, but have we do have resources to organize it, but we're not using those resources. We're not actively trying to get. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. That part I do not know because I'm not in the Amazon organizing campaign. We had a
neither do
I'm
I.
not gonna say nothing about that,
And I don't,
but
I don't get involved either with that. I don't. I mean, I really don't, because I think it's too late in the game. It's too much waste of time and too much waste of money to try to organize them. I mean, it's got to be somebody really, really, really good to organize.
like
Amazon.
if we had what they call salts in there telling us, dude, this is being very, very critical, very honest with their assessment of how it is in those facilities to organize, then yeah, we could say, you know what,
See,
maybe.
people,
But we still haven't. I just don't know what's happening with the Amazon organizing
I tell
committee.
you
It's
what's
just it's
happening.
just, it's
I tell
just
you what's happening, because what's happening is that these guys are going with the organizers, going rah rah with the organizers, and what happened is that they get fired, and then now the other people that was rah-rahing behind them is saying, "Oh, I'm gonna back the fuck up because I ain't gonna get fired to do what they did." You see, they got fired, and they have the company has the right to fire them because they're not union. But still, the message is going. If you go out there and campaign with these people to have a union here, you'll be fired. So everybody's getting afraid, and I see it because you go
yeah.
from 30 people rah rah, and then you're down to fucking 5. So you see the difference, and you see what the scary is, that some people are okay to lose their job, and some people are not okay to lose because they live check by check. So they want a union, but the way it's going down is not working for them. It's not working. It's not working for the organizers. I just don't see it happening in the near future. I don't see it happening anytime that the
And
Teamsters.
that's the problem too. We have too many of these raw individuals rather than people that give an honest assessment to say, look, this is what's really happening, rather than just another event. And we puff our chest, we put our helmets on, strap our chin straps. That shit's got to be put away. No, we need to stop being honest.
And you
We
know
need
what?
honesty.
The
We need
funniest
honesty when
thing,
it comes to with this Amazon organizing committee.
and I and
What's
I'm
really
straight
happening?
and I'm straight up. I don't bite my tongue at all. Tony Rosario was a show host here, and he did. He's still my friend. Maybe not after this, but when they made him organizer of the year, I was like, what the fuck did he organize? What did he organize that he's the organizer of the year? Those are the titles they put onto them to say, hey, we doing things. What did he organize that he's the organizer of the year? I don't get it. I still haven't got an answer, but whatever, it is what it is. That's politics and
When it
bullshit.
comes to let me say this about Rosario. If I would listen to Rosario to tell me how it is when it comes to organizing in Amazon, to be really honest with me, be really honest with everybody. You know, and we have one person that dictates the whole organizing committee. It's like, no, to me, it should be regional. I would hand that region, that, you know, New York region, to Rosario and say, you know what, I want you to organize it, but you got to be really honest with us when it comes to when it comes to this organizing. How much effect are we really having in the warehouses? Because, you know, Amazon is just going to come and it's going. They're not going to stop. It's like Saquon Barkley. You're not going to stop them.
If
You know,
they
it's
give
the
it,
same thing. You're not going to stop Amazon. But what are we doing that's effective? What are we doing I mean, that's ineffective. You know, this we have, but we don't. I don't know if we even have those conversations. You know,
well,
we just paying people 500 G's for what? The
if
fuck are we paying
if
people
you
like that
gave,
for?
if I believe if you gave power to Tony to do what he needs to do and has the financial backing, he can do something, but he's tied. Like his hands are tied. Like he's messing around with one hand and tying on the other hand. You know, he don't have his both hands to do his thing, so he's tied up. He only does what they ask him to do, and that's well,
And
that's
that's the problem of having one person being the organizer director for a national campaign like Amazon, which should be regional, because what works in New York isn't going to work in Atlanta. What works in Atlanta ain't going to work out here in Southern California. Works out here in Southern California is not going to work in New York. The politics are different, you know, just different cultures. You know, that's why for one to have one person, no, you cannot have one person. That I guess that person, you know, you're talking about Hoffa, came from Hoffa. You know,
mm.
they just gave him that position.
They didn't give him that position because I guess you don't know the story of that position, because they did not give him that position. He earned that position because of the
No, I'm
fact.
not talking about Rosario. I'm talking about Corgan.
Oh, Corgan, that's a different
I'm
story. Then I
talking
had
about Corgan. I'm not talking about Rosario. I apologize. Now I'm talking about Rosario. Corgan was the Amazon whatever position that was called during the
he,
Hoffa
he
tenure.
sucks. He sucks.
You know, and then come back to now, he's
He
still
sucks.
the Amazon. Now he's the national Amazon organizing
Yeah,
director.
and he sucks.
He
Simple.
does.
He
You know?
sucks, and that's Sean O'Brien's deal. He has to make that decision, how, if it's gonna move forward or it's not moving forward. I don't see it. I went to, I forgot what conference that I went to. I think last year, when he made a speech that he's organizing Amazon, and he has a couple of Amazon people there, from West Coast. Actually, it was a woman
I
from,
think I think there was the Palmdale crew,
and
if I
didn't
remember correctly.
she got terminated, didn't she? I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to spectate and but I thought she got terminated right after that. But anyway, but it still, listen,
Oh no, it was different. My bad.
it's my opinion and my opinion only. I mean, is this that I think they're wasting their time and money on Amazon organizers to try to organize Amazon, because it's not gonna help. It's not gonna just work with Teamsters, um, rah-rahing at the picket lines and getting locked up for it. It's not gonna work that. It has to be the help of the inside of the Amazon, the people that work for Amazon. If they all don't get scared and let's move forward, this could happen. But they're getting scared with this union busters shit, and they're getting scared and they're backing up. I mean, you go from, like I said, 30 people in a crowd to 5 now. It's like they don't they don't have that push anymore. And with that other guy, Aid, what's his name, Chris Malls. What happened to him? He just disappeared. It was like a 15-minute fame. He did his little videos. He wore his gold. He wore his Jordans, and then what happened? What happened? He stopped. He stopped going after Amazon. I don't know if he did or didn't, but I don't hear shit from him. I haven't heard shit from him in a long, long time.
Well, that's a whole different that's a whole different subject. He's out there. He's trying to he
But
trying
what
to fight
boosts
this Labor Party.
what boost the Teamsters was him. You understand what I'm saying? He gave that boost that say, "Holy shit! Now I can organize, the Staten Island, and I'm doing this. I'm getting arrested." he boosted, and then that's when the teams just like said, all right, now let's take over his shit and let's try to get it now. I wish that was the case. I wish it was the case that we do organize Amazon and make it everywhere in the United States to make it bigger for the Teamsters, because it's better. More Teamsters, a better union. But right now, I don't see that happening. But whatever it is, case may be. Now, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that, but I'm done with that because I've been done with that for a long time. You know, it kills me when I see when they do rallies for a day or two and it just dies. It just dies. You got to keep the fight with these guys. This company has a lot of money to take that shit. They don't care. They'll water you down. They open the fire extinguisher at a building. They ain't getting no fines, no nothing.
Yeah,
They,
like from what I see, they're just like I said before, they're just focusing more on the DSPs than the warehouse. You know, and to me, it'd be more natural fit to go after the warehouse. You know,
you're saying
a
they're
hard
going after?
challenge.
Well, here we're going after their warehouse. So Tony always goes after the not the drivers. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, the DSPs are the drivers. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. Here, he was organizing. He was getting the warehouse first. He was not even going with the drivers at all. The
Okay.
drivers decided to join in. Some drivers decided to join
Yeah,
in. Right.
GBK 8 or 4, something like that. I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah. So they are definitely going for the warehouse people. The warehouse people right now, with the times that are flying now, with a lot of with this economy gonna probably crash soon because of fucking Trump. They worry about the paycheck, so they probably ain't gonna move forward like they used to.
And
But
when we talk about Amazon too, Amazon actively goes out for immigrants. They try to hire them because they see them, as more willing to tolerate more shit, right? They're not going to speak up because they're just in fear.
I think
Now
it's
you have
I
and now you have a president who will go after anybody. You know what I mean?
but
They'll go
but
after anybody.
but
That's more
Amazon.
scary too.
But Amazon, he won't go after Amazon. So if you're in there, they're not gonna raid those damn warehouses. They've been raiding the company's warehouses, but they don't raid fucking Amazon because that's his boy. So little after this little thing that they were going through with each other, Basil and Trump, they then I don't know what happened. They fixed it up, but that's the reason why he's not going after that because that's his boy, his billionaire boy.
Yeah, but just because they don't rate you at your workplace doesn't mean that they don't rate you somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know, and then if you tie yourself to this president and you're an immigrant, you're like, damn, I don't. Should I really go with the Teamsters? If this guy's supporting this dude over here who's rounding up, immigrants, without due process and sending them away,
Well,
should I really be with should I really want do I really want to join the Teamsters?
I was pissed off when I saw the picture of him at the palace because this is a guy that goes against unions. He doesn't like unions at all.
Yep. He's a
He's
big old
totally
union
against
buster.
he's a total against union. He don't want unions. He don't like unions. He don't care for unions. And then when I saw him at the palace, I was like, what the fuck? It's like Dave Levine wearing a Teamster jacket. What? I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? Why is he letting this guy go into the palace, and then he had Harris there also because he had to because he was getting a lot of riff, but a lot of teamsters like Trump. They like Trump.
I know. I'm not arguing that point. I'm not
So
arguing that point
so
at
we
all.
can't. So Sean O'Brien can make a decision and say to the Trump teamsters, hey. If you're a Teamster, you're gonna vote Democrat. I don't give a shit what you do. You're gonna no. That's the freedom of speech. They could vote whichever way they want to.
Well, it's not telling people how to vote. It's presenting them the facts, right? It's presenting. You just said Trump's had a long history of union busting. He doesn't like dealing with unions. You present that here, boom. This is what. Here's the facts about Trump. Here's the facts about Kamala Harris, and then you decide. Rather than
But
telling people don't vote, but you need to be honest with us.
he
There was
wanted.
no honest. There was no honesty when it came to this presidential endorsement. You know, it was like okay, we have a, I don't know how 804 did it. You know, we have this presidential election, and these are the candidates.
We did do a vote to see where.
Well, not the vote, but more like the political education,
Mhm.
like presenting the facts. Like
Well,
here,
let me. I tell
here's
you
his
this. I tell
history.
you this much. Vinny Perone can't stand Trump. Can't
I
stand
know
him.
he can't. I know he can't.
Cannot stand him. But he's not Sean O'Brien. So he's got to go whatever the boss says to go whichever which way. I know Vinny. He no matter what, he didn't vote that way. Believe me, because he can't stand. Um, but that's politics. That's bullshit. So what I want to talk about is the IBT election that's coming up. And I don't know. Do you know what Richie Hook is going for? Is he going for the IBT president?
That part I do not know. I haven't asked him.
All
you
right.
know,
So, and I also
but
heard that John Palmer is putting his name in the hat also to run with Richie Hooker. Um,
that's what I've heard as well too.
I like. Listen, I like that John. I mean that John said the truth, and he always speaks straight up with me. And when he said about TDU being lab dogs, I totally 100% agreed with him. But it's a time when John Palmer needs to, like, he's not a president guy. He can't be the president of IB. He's not that guy. He has knowledge of organizing. He was an organizer all his time, and organizer with Hoffa when they fired him from organizing. They Sean O'Brien also let him go now also because of some incident that happened, which I know the whole story, but I don't like to put anybody's story out there. Let John Palmer do that himself, or why he's not with the slate now with the Sean O'Brien and Zuckerman
Well,
slate.
it's easy. I think in the first year of O'Brien's tenure, he spoke out against Sean O'Brien. And I
I didn't
guess
hear
Sean
that.
O'Brien doesn't like criticism. You know,
Well, he doesn't like it, and he could take care of things. That's what I'm saying. Like, he does things because he's got the power to do things now. Before, he didn't have the power. Before, he had all of us, campaigning with the TDU crew, and now he grabbed. I almost guarantee you, he told TDU, "Listen, if you're not with me, you're against me, and I'm gonna demolish you as a TDU, as the little organization."
I'm pretty sure he did tell him that because
Oh,
I mean when,
definitely.
when you have a seat when you have a seat in the table, you don't want to leave that seat because that's perceived power. That's power, and you don't want to
I
you don't
I
want
was
to walk away from power.
I was interested in TDU because of the fact that they were always putting out stuff that Hoffa did, and the members needed to know. Those are stuff that members need to know. We don't hear anything. Maybe nothing is going on in the Sean O'Brien camp, and they have nothing to talk about. But I guarantee you, if they did have something to talk about, they won't say it.
No, I think they know, they just don't want to say nothing. They
Mm,
can't say nothing.
exactly.
They're getting paid by the IBT. When you
Exactly.
go to these I never been to a TDU convention. I'm never going to
Listen, we
one.
all we are all forgivers. We all forgive people for what they done. I'm a forgiver. I give you the one chance of your life to say, hey, I fucked up, and this is what I'm gonna do now, and then I'll continue, supporting. But if you fuck up again the second time, you're not. I'm not supporting you at all. So what I'm saying is like Fred Zuckerman hated TDU. Couldn't stand him. He even put a license plate. TDU sucks. And then, hey, now they are best of friends. Because why? Because now they're not shitting on him. They helped him get into office with Sean O'Brien. They got Sean O'Brien and him together. And that's how they got to keep it. They got to keep it in a nice straight line now, because one fuck up, they're done. TDU's done completely. If Sean O'Brien was against TDU right now, TDU wouldn't exist anymore. It wouldn't exist anymore,
Because
because
their money will be dried up because a lot of their money is coming from officers and staffers at the
coming
IBT.
from every local by sending them to education to educate the members there. Now, that money that's being sent there is not to a Teamster. They're not Teamster. I mean, team. whatever. I don't want to get into that. I don't give a fuck about TCU anymore. I'm not paying the $35 prescription anymore. You guys continue if you want to continue doing that. You go ahead and pay your and get your newsletter about nothing because the newsletter used to be good back then. I used to love getting my newsletter because I used to see everything that goes on as far as who's doing what, who's getting locked up, and who's corrupted, and who's this. That newsletter now, I don't know what. Maybe they don't
Well,
even.
there's a newsletter. It's called T Union Link, and
Oh,
they do put some stuff up there when it comes to the IBT. They do
and
put some stuff up there.
who does that? Who
The
who?
the T Union Link.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 retired Teamsters that run it,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you just have people that just,
No, I
you
thought you
know.
were saying that that was TDU putting out
Oh,
that.
no, my bad, no, my bad. No, I said it was T Union Link. T Union
Oh,
Link.
okay. Okay, no,
That
no, no. They just stop and stop. I've been stopped being a member. They always asked me when I used to go to the conference to be a member. I was like, nope, absolutely not. I don't need that green tag that says member on it. That shit is so lame. So anyway, yeah. So John Palmer is the word of mouth to saying that he's looking to run. I don't know what position he's looking to run, but I don't think if John Palmer's listening, John, save your money, bro. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. And Richard Hooker too. Save your money. Pay attention to local 623. You've been doing a great job. Hopefully that the members see that and keep you going at 623. Don't go that way to the international. If you have you don't have I don't think you have what it takes to tell you the truth. I know Richie Hooker for a long time. He doesn't have what it takes to be international president of the IBT. He doesn't have it. I don't want him to fall on his face because that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't know what kind of slate he's going to put together to run against Sean O'Brien. I told Sean O'Brien, I said it, Sean O'Brien, and they don't have anything to worry about. They have zero to worry about. They haven't done anything so bad that the members are going to vote them out. I haven't seen anything that is so bad that they doing a bad job. They're doing, as far as I know, and as far as the Teamsters that I've been talking to, they're doing an excellent job, and they don't even know them. They don't care. They didn't campaign for them. They just know that they see difference. Now, everybody has a difference. These job cuts, he has no control over the job cuts. The volume is the job cuts, and we are on our worst. And I always say the members are on our worst enemies because we put that there. We make that happen because there's a lot of members that they don't do the job like they're supposed to do the job. Okay, there's those members. There's those members that do either car washing and they wash a truck or two for an hour and then they sit on their asses for the rest. And then they see that, so they start cutting. They say, oh, wait a minute, why do I need this car wash? Why do I need 3 car washes here? 2 car washes is probably enough. They look at the IT stuff, and then they start cutting. So we are our worst enemy, and we are our worst enemy also when we don't abide by our own contract. When the members don't abide by our own contract, it's just giving it to the company. We're a laughing stock because a guarantee 8 hours means do 8 hours. Don't make a deal and leave in 4 hours. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense that we are doing this and this is what's happening. The part-timers, they had and here in local 804, I don't know in other locals, but we had a guaranteed 3.5 hours. Simple as that.
that,
If
that
they're
that's national.
Is it national? It's all right. So in national, we had 3.5 hours. Guess what is down to in local 804? We're down to 3 hours now.
Wait, what do you mean 3 hours? You
3 hours.
guaranteed 3.5. Everybody's guaranteed 3.5.
Okay. So the way it works now with the guaranteed 3.5. So let's say a worker works from 2 hours and 90 minutes, correct?
Or 50 minutes. Yeah, 2 hours, 50 minutes. Yeah.
2 hours and 50 minutes. And this no work is done. They pay them the 3 hours. They don't pay them the 3.5 hours. Now, if they go over the three hours, then they get paid the 3.5 hours. It's crazy. It was an arbitrary rule because of what will happen. The part-timers signed a petition saying that they want to go home when they want to go home. So if the job is done in 2 hours and 50 minutes, they're going home, but they're getting only 3 hours now.
Wait. But you can't. We can't go into a separate agreement with UPS. It has to. It has to be negotiated. How did this the petition? Okay, so the petition says we want to leave when we want to leave.
So they did it. So what happens is they go you to a part-timer, right? You're a part-timer.
Yeah.
And it says, listen, here, sign this paper saying that you only want to work to the time you want to leave. You don't want to do
Well,
the
who presented that? UPS or a
U,
petition?
UPS brought it to arbitration.
No, but the paper, the not the arbitration, but what you just said right now.
We were putting tons of 3.5 hour grievances.
Okay.
Wasn't paying 3.5 hour grievances, so it went into arbitration. And the arbitrator ruled with a 3 hour, max, meaning for the local 804 supplement. It says 3 hours. If you work 250, you get 3 hours. If you work past the 3 hours, you get 3.5 hours. That's what it is. That's what the arbitrator ruled, because they got all these forms from all these part-timers saying that they only want to work time. That's it. If they finish in 1 hour, they want to get paid. They get paid 3 hours. If they finish in 2 hours, they get paid 3 hours. If they finish in a half hour, they get paid 3 hours. Okay. And then if they don't pay them those 3 hours, we have the right to strike if they don't obey by that. So we the members put that in paper to show to an arbitrator. And it's crazy that we're making deals with management. We're making the drivers are making deals, the part-timers are making deals, the car washes are making, everybody's making deals, and then all of a sudden, what the company does is look and see. All right, we have five clerks. Let's see how it works out. And then they watch them. They see that there's a lot of time in between, and then they start cutting. They'll cut 2. They'll go down from 5 to 3. Now I'm down. I went from four clerks at night, PM clerks. I'm down to one. So what they're doing is holding the work back. They're telling the clerk, hold the work back. And then the next morning, when you have the 2 a.m. clerks, they gotta put those. It's not doing service for the customers. They don't give a fuck about the customers right now. They
don't.
they doing the cuts to save the money in their pockets. So with one clerk in the PM, and he's there, whatever he's done at 8 hours, he's done. Whatever's left over, the AM clerks come in the morning and they finish up the work. So the service sucks. This woman is fucking up the service for the customers, and the customers don't know that. And the
Oh
customers
yeah, she's doing what she did at Home Depot. She's outsourcing the job. When we talk about the customer counter, they're using the UPS stores for that. Oh, go pick up. You could pick up your package at the UPS store. You could drop off your package at the UPS store. Before they would, customer will go into the customer counter and just drop off their package or pick up their package. And I feel sorry for the customers, because the customer, when they go on their UPS app, to see where their package is at. Oh, package is at the Anaheim facility. They go to the Anaheim facility. There's no customer counter, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for some sort of UPS representative to come out and say, you know what, you go to this UPS store.
I laugh now when they bring a guy into the office and say he didn't service the fucking package, and that they want to discipline him. I fucking laugh at their face. I say, are you fucking kidding me? You held back so many airs this morning that is not being delivered next day air like they're supposed to, and you're saying this guy, because he fucking made it to the stop 1 minute passed and he failed the service. You fucking failed the service. I ain't taking no discipline for that shit, because they are failing the customers. We're not failing the customers. We're trying to do whatever we possibly do to do it.
Do you guys still have air? You guys, sorry. Do you guys still have air drivers?
Yeah, yes, we do.
We don't out here at Anaheim. They went to the.
We have what they call a combo air driver.
Yeah, we used to have that.
So that's what we have, combo air driver, which is that they go to the airport in the morning, pick up the airs, they come back. When they come back, they go into preload and they finish their 8 hours. Now, if they need them to do airs that they have too many airs and the drivers can't make it on time. They use the air, those guys. No, so the early AMs is different. The drivers do the early AMs on
Yeah,
the
we
Article
out here
40.
too.
On the Article 40, and they fucking that shit up too. Listen, this company don't give a fuck about this contract. They could care fucking less about the contract. They're gonna violate it to the fullest. It's up to us to put in the grievance, and that's what I said the last show, that the grievance procedure sucks, and Sean O'Brien needs to do something about the grievance procedure. They have to be accountable for the grievances, because the more the grievance that we're putting in, the members are getting pissed off. They saying, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna grieve it no more," because it's it takes so fucking long to do it. And they're right. They're absolutely right, because
There's no consequence for UPS. They don't care. They'll pay out the money. They don't really care. There's no consequence.
yeah, but they pay off the
There's
money
no
5
consequence.
years later. 5 years
Yeah,
later.
because there's no consequence. I remember we talked about something like this during the contract, and why we don't have language when right to strike when it comes to these things right here. I mean, it's
It should be
beyond.
a limit. It should be a limit when a grievance is handed. The day starts there. The day starts there. I would give the company 90 to 120 days, period, to settle that fucking grievance. That's my opinion. That's the way it should be. And if they don't settle, it should be a quadruple, whatever penalty. That's for money grievances. Now, for contract violation grievance, should be the same thing. So if they don't fucking fix the contract grievance within the 90 or 120 days, then it should become a money grievance for the griever. Simple as that, because a lot of guys don't like to put in contract grievances because there's no money involved. They just want to put grievances that's going to make them money. So if you put teeth into the grievance procedures and put their feet to the fire to the company, they'll probably get rid of those grievances faster than possible. But the procedure sucks. They know it takes long. You got to go to you got to go to first level hearing. You got to go to the business agent to sit down, and then if they deny it there, it gets filed. Once it gets filed, it just sits in the file for as long as that article is gonna get heard at the national. Then you got to go to the national, and national is a fucking joke. National is a fucking joke. I went there, and it's a fucking joke. It is a fucking joke, because everything gets deadlocked there. Everything gets deadlocked there. Some people will win, maybe one or two cases tops, maybe because they had something going on, but do a lot of fucking cases get deadlocked. And then what happens when it gets deadlocked? It gets pushed back to the Senate, to the local. And then the locals has to put it in for a future arbitration. It could be a fucking year, 2 years from now. So now you're going on maybe 3 years with this fucking grievance. And I prove it to you, because this past national that just went by, before that, I had a labor guy call me about grievances of 2020, and we're in 2025. That shit is a long time. And then they want to make a deal. Was a $58 grievance, came out to be a $5,000 grievance. But they'll do that because they got the money and they wasted all those years to do it. And that's the grievance procedure that sucks, and it needs to be fixed. If Sean O'Brien is running on anything, if he gonna campaign, I don't know if he is or not. But if he does, he needs to make sure that the next
I'm sure
contract,
he's gonna campaign.
of course
I'm
he
sure
is.
he's gonna campaign.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he? I mean, I don't think he should, because I don't think it's no competitors out there that would do that job the right way. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. You might have your opinions against Sean O'Brien. That's fine. Have your opinions, but if he didn't bring you into his slate, so what? You have a local to run, and run that local. Simple as that. Stop being greedy. You want to get into the more money into. Listen, you don't have what it takes, don't fucking do it. If they did something bad that people need to put a slate together, then fine. Then put a slate together. It's the same thing with us in the executive board. If we did something real bad and someone wants to run and take away what we did wrong, fine. You have the right to. If you have in good standards, you have the right to. But if you don't have what it takes to be in, I don't know. That's my opinion, guys. It's
I,
no
I think I think I think Richard does have what it takes to be
okay. Good for you.
and then that'll
And
be another
Richie
discussion. That'll
has
be
your. Listen, I like Richard, but I won't vote for him. Sorry, I wouldn't. It
I
just
would, because I'm not going to vote for Sean O'Brien. There's
yeah.
no way, because
There you
what
go.
he's doing, what he's doing, and this is one thing we could discuss in the next show, because I know we're pushing
Go
up
ahead.
on the time.
Oh yeah.
You know, is that he's separate? To me, he's separating, and a lot of people see this too. Is he's separating the Teamsters from the labor movement? The Teamsters are part of the labor movement. We're not separate of the labor movement. We're not separate at all. We're part of the labor movement. When I see shirts that says Teamsters versus everybody, it goes against the principles of solidarity, and that you cannot go against. You cannot go every 5 years to South Africa to talk to the transportation. I don't know what I forgot the name of it. There's like a transportation association out there in South Africa that meets, and you can't go out there every 5 years to ask for solid international solidarity, and then have a shirt that says Teamsters versus everybody. You cannot, because you're just being hypocritical. You're just saying to the labor movement, we'll use you when we need to use you, rather than we're part of the labor movement. We're going to always stand with labor. You know,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's the labor movement died down. I don't know why it died down, but I've seen it die down.
well,
Not
it's too much attacks. You got federal workers that are getting axed. You know, just public unions just getting stomped on. You know, teacher unions just getting demolished with this administration because of the Department of Labor. You know, it's just a lot of fronts, dude. You know, you have immigrants. You know, that what's happening there. You know, it's just a shock in us how much can your body absorb punches right now? You know, just the labor movement is just getting bombarded. You know, we have to stand with immigrants. A lot of Teamsters are immigrants. They're children of immigrants, same like me. My parents came undocumented from Mexico, and there's a lot more like me. And when you take a when you're actively retweeting posts from a Senator Josh Hawley or President Trump, that sends a negative message. We can't
but
be
that makes
entering
him
that.
that
We can't
makes
be entering into this phase of
that
pro
makes him a
labor
bad that
conservatism.
makes him a bad president because he tweet about certain things that listen, I'm not a Trump guy. I don't never like the Trump because he's an anti but do you hate Sean O'Brien because he's doing his own political stuff, that's his personal life, what he decide. Anyone that decides to vote for him, that's their personal opinion, that's their personal agenda. We shouldn't hold whatever his political agenda is in himself towards whatever happens to the teams, because right now nothing is affecting the teams but the company of this big company that's cutting out all these jobs and cutting everywhere. And that's because the lady, whatever her fucking name is cutting down for make sure that investors get their money. Now the investors see that they're losing money, they're gonna get rid of her ass in the flash. So she's doing
Sounds to
everything
me.
possible. She's doing everything possible to keep that 70 whatever, what is it, $73 million job. That's what she's doing. She's cutting down shit. She did it at Home Depot, and she's gonna do it here too. You know what? The investors are the only ones that can fire her. We can't fire her. The Teamsters can't fire her. The members can't fire her. The only ones that could fire her is the investors. If the
And they
investors,
ain't gonna do it.
of
Hector,
course not.
it's been well. We'll talk again soon.
Yep, I gotta go. Yep, exactly. Anyway, I want to leave this with this song here. All right, thanks, Jose. I want to call all the haters. You can hate all you want. I'm gonna be here. You can call me at 347 403 let me get it right. 347-403-0705. You could call me anytime you want. After the show, before the show, whatever you want. Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, you want to call me and you want to talk about what I'm talking about, what my opinions are. I'm not going to let anyone tell me what my opinions are. It's my opinions. And I always say it in the beginning of the show, it's my opinion only. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like listening to this radio show. You really don't. You can go to the other shows that is scripted, that they tell you exactly what they want you to hear. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm gonna hear, straight up, without no fucking period on it, whatever. So if you don't like what you hear from me, my suggestion is tune away. Don't come and watch me. I really don't care. I always tell you guys that one listener or 1,000 listener, it doesn't matter to me. I don't get paid for this. I do this on my own time, and this is what I express to you of my opinions. If you don't like it, tough shit. Sorry, but not sorry. So if, like I said, don't comment if you don't have anything good to say, and don't listen. If you don't like it, just don't listen. Anyway, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show. Sorry I took along with this Jose guy from the West Coast talking about certain things, but we're going to be talking more about stuff that's happening in locals, the building shutdowns, all that other stuff. Sorry it took this long, but I only have an hour. I gotta go. Anyway, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show. Stay tuned the next 2 weeks, and we'll be, where is it? I hate it.